What's up, guys? We are playing Diablo 4, Paladin, obviously. I've been having a lot of fun with this class since they actually released it, shadow dropped it. I don't know if that's considered a shadow drop, but I was very, very surprised when they announced that you could actually play it if you pre-ordered the expansion coming out, Lord of Hatred. So I posted some of this footage on a Diablo 4 group on Facebook. I believe it was Citizens of Sanctuary. Some people were asking about it. I'm really big on attack speed. I think I'm at like 197% attack speed right now, maybe even 200. So people were asking for links to the build or which build am I following. I don't follow builds. I don't look up links for builds. Guarantee somebody else has the same one out there somewhere. There's probably already a video for it, but this is mine. People were asking about it. So I'm going to show you guys what I got going on. So with our stat window pulled up here, you can see where my attack speed is at, my critical strike damage, and as I'm attacking, all of that is just skyrocketing. Super sick. So we need to go in, look at the skills, look at the passives, everything that's going on to get us to those numbers. So first thing we're going to do is check out the gear. Headpiece that we're using is the Harlequin Crest. As far as the GA, we got 787 armor. Stacking armor is one of the biggest things of this build. We got to get as much armor as possible to trigger that Paragon, the legendary Paragon node on that board. And the runes that we're using, I'm going to go to my runes tab because I have them over there. Basically, the runes on my build are strictly just for resource generation. I don't have any resource generation affixes on any of my gear, so I am getting my resource from those runes. Next up, we're running Shroud of False Death. Just to get those +1 to all passives is really the main thing. There are some awesome passives on the skill tree for Paladin. And for the first rune we have is Moni. Casts 2 mobility or macabre skills. Advance and Divine Lance are mobility skills. And paired with our attack speed, this thing just fires like a machine gun every time you use it. So what we're using this for is to trigger a skill from another class. And the skill that is being activated is Abhorrent Iron Maiden skill from the Necromancer. This only requires 100 offerings. So as you can see with the attack speed and that rune, this thing is just going off over and over and over again, which brings us into our next set of runes on the chest piece. So this rune is being fed by the first set of runes from the helmet. So invoke a skill from another class. Abhorrent Iron Maiden is a skill from another class. So because that skill is going off every second, this rune is triggering every second. So with this rune setup, you will never run out of resource. You can theoretically just stand still and attack nothing, and your resource will just keep regenerating. So I'm just going to let you guys go ahead and pause where you need to going over this gear. There's just a couple key things that are part of this build for the tempers. 2 of my items have Fanaticism or a Potency. That skill grants you attack speed. When you have more potency to that skill, that increases your attack speed, and I believe I'm getting somewhere around 15 to 20% attack speed from having 2 of those items having the same temper. And for the Oath, we are using Zealot. I am already gaining Fervor from using Advance, but out of all the other Oaths that I could have chosen from, this was the best for my current build. While at maximum Fervor, you Fortify. And somewhere on the Paragon boards, somewhere, you get some benefits from actually having Fortify. Now on to the skills. Our basic skill, we are using Advance. This is going to grant us 1 fervor per strike. The aspect on our gloves grants us an extra stack of fervor. And we have multiple things going on where having fervor adds some benefits to this build. And for Divine Lance, you'll notice that Divine Lance's damage is increased by 30% of your movement speed. Our movement speed is, I believe, 200%. So you can see how this is increasing our damage just by having movement speed. And Divine Lance is also a Zealot skill. Every skill that deals damage on this build is a Zealot skill. So I have this skill on a macro, so that way it is constantly casting. This is what's granting us that extra push into the 190 to 200% territory of attack speed, and especially paired with those 2 tempers for the potency, this is what is going to get us there. In Falling Star, I chose this just because it looks cool. It looks so ridiculous, especially with the attack speed, because when you have a high percentage of attack speed, Falling Star's animation happens faster. So when you cast Falling Star, you're straight up in the air and then lunging to wherever you have directed your Paladin to go, and it all happens within like a quarter of a second. It's ridiculous. And to top it all off, you can teleport with Falling Star. You can use this to shoot yourself through walls in dungeons. You can use this to jump down from cliffs onto playable ground down below you. It's a beautiful looking skill, and it is outstanding for movement. So when we move on to Zenith, this is where attack speed matters. So not only is Zenith granting us unstoppable, it's also giving us the ability to cast this infinitely. So when we have Sermon of Steel as our modifier, instead of knocking down enemies, Zenith's second strike extends its duration by 1 second. When you have high attack speed, it makes the animations of attacks faster. So when you start spamming Zenith, because it's happening so fast, it is increasing that duration by 1 second. That bar down at the bottom will only deteriorate if you stop casting the skill. Again, I don't know if this was intentional or if it was overlooked. Either way, this is what we are working with. And finally, for our key passive, we are using Coat of Arms. Damage is increased by the percentage of your block chance. This is one of those main reasons why Paladin is just so good. I don't know if any other classes work this way, but there are so many things that scale off of other stats, simple stats such as movement speed or your block chance. We have increases being scaled off of movement speed, increases being scaled off of attack speed, block chance, armor. There's so many things that are scaling off of one another. And next we're moving on to the passive abilities. Like I mentioned earlier, there are a lot of things that scale off of one another for the Paladin. You're going to see things in here for increasing your critical strike chance, critical strike damage, armor, block chance. There's a lot of good passives in this skill tree for the Paladin. And while this is playing out, I'm just going to briefly talk about attack speed. Now, the spreadsheet that I have taken a screenshot of just the Barbarian section. This was provided by Wudijo from YouTube. I'm going to provide a link for his video going over attack speed as well as a link for the spreadsheet. Wudijo, thank you for providing this information for us. So when we take a look at this, we have 2 caps for attack speed, cap 1 and cap 2. Cap 1 attack speed is from 0% to 100%. Cap 2 is from 100% to 200%. So when we make it to 100% attack speed with stats on gear, Paragon, certain skills that are in cap 1, we need to make sure that we are not adding any more attack speed that is only applicable to cap 1 because it's just going to be wasted. So you can see on the Barbarian in cap 2 the accelerating aspect, which I have that aspect on my amulet, that is applicable to cap 2. The Fanaticism Aura skill on Paladin, that goes into cap 2. And for me, the easiest way to find out if, say, an aspect or a skill is in either cap 1 or cap 2 of attack speed is I just go on Google, I type in Diablo 4, item name, aspect name, and ask what cap of attack speed it is currently in. And finally, this brings us to our Paragon board. I'm just going to let you guys take a look at this. Take a look at the glyphs. Take a look at the legendary nodes placed on these Paragon boards. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I would love to make some more in the future. Let me know if you enjoyed this, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.